Sharkie Gamer here. So in this video I'll be showing you the PlayStation Move hardware. So that's the PlayStation Eye camera, the PlayStation Move motion controllers, and the PlayStation Move navigation controller. So these are basically all the controllers and accessory you'll need to use PlayStation Move on the PlayStation 3 console. Now before I start the actual review, this won't be the only one I will do on the Move. I will be doing individual ones on certain games, and of course on the PlayStation Move accessories. So as I get more PlayStation Move games, I'll do reviews on that particular game and how these controls work with that particular game. There's just so much variation out there, I thought I'll do it this way. That way I'll be covering all the different functions and how you can use the Move differently. So anyway, let's get started on the hardware. First up, we have the PlayStation Eye camera. So this part is a lens. You got your microphone up here. PlayStation logo there. You can see it's quite a slim little device. It says PlayStation Eye on the back of it. It's got a fairly long cable so that you can have it a bit away from your console if you require it. Now the capturing function of this is fairly limited. You're looking at about 60 Hz at a capturing resolution of 640 by 480 pixels, or 120 Hz by 320 by 240 pixels. So that's about the capturing rate. So it's not a huge high quality, but it's actually quite standard. Probably about the same capture quality as your webcam or something like that. This also has an adjustable fixed focus zoom lens. So for instance, when we're on the red dot, you get 56% field of view. So that's when you really like talking and like a chatting, you want a close-up frame of your face or something like that. And then you can go to the blue dot here, which is 75-degree field of view. So that's when you're like a long-distance shot, say you're playing a game like a physical game or something like that, but you need a wider frame to capture like your whole body. That's when you go to that one. So it's got two different frames of mind. It's also got a pretty good microphone in it. So it's basically audio with noise suppression, speech recognition, so you don't have to use a headset with it. And the audio, I think it captures at about 16-bit sample rate at 48 kilohertz. So again, it's quite decent audio. And with that noise suppression as well as speech recognition, you can also capture it in like very noisy environments, and it'll still capture your voice and still carry it through to whatever game you're playing. So that's a really good thing about it. Anyway, that was the PlayStation Eye. Now, do not confuse this with the PlayStation Eye toy. The Eye toy was released for PlayStation 2 and is not as good as the PlayStation Eye. The PlayStation Eye took the technology they had in the Eye toy and improved it vastly. So the PlayStation Eye is much more serious. It's a much more serious accessory. So anyway, that was the PlayStation Eye. You do need this for the PlayStation Move to work. But we'll start with the PlayStation Move basically motion controllers first. Okay, so basically the motion controller is like a stick with a little white ball on top of it. Now to start with, this white ball has basically an RGB LED inside there, so it's capable of doing absolutely heaps of different colors that comes up. On the face of here, you got your PlayStation button, the PlayStation Move button here. You got your normal PlayStation buttons over there, and you got basically a little grip there that has a PlayStation logo as well as a button in it, which basically can turn on your console, which I've probably just done now by pressing it. And then on the back you've got your trigger. On the sides you've got select and start, so they're out of the way, so when you're holding it, they're out of the way so you don't accidentally press them. It's quite comfortable to hold. It's got quite a nice ergonomic design. As you can see, it fits my hand quite nicely. I can easily reach all the buttons. So basically asking, how does this work? Well, it basically works. First of all, it's got an accelerometer in it, as well as an angular rate sensor, to pick up rotation as well as motion, so when you're moving it or how you rotate the controller. And how it detects your position and the place you are. This ball will actually pick a color to the best suited in the area. So if your background has a lot of different colors, and basically your PlayStation 3 will pick a color to glow on this that stands out of the background. So if you've got a lot of color, if you've got blues and greens, it's going to pick something like red to stand out. So it'll generate that depending on your environment, depending on the plane. And how it detects your position, whether you're closer or further away, is by the size of the actual ball here. So when you're far away, the ball is a lot smaller. When you're close up, the ball is a lot larger. So that detects on the proximity to the PlayStation Eye. So when it's closer to it, it knows it's bigger, and when it's further away, it's smaller. So it can differentiate between that. Same when you actually twist it with the angular sensors, it knows what kind of position you are in basically 3D space. That's basically how it positions it. It's also got a good thing, internal sensors here, which is called dead reckoning, which when you actually get obscured by when this is behind your back or covered by something, it's obscured. The PlayStation Eye, along with the PlayStation 3's processor, is smart enough to determine exactly where in the space it is. So basically, if this was here 1 second ago, and it was here, and after 4 seconds, it can determine, okay, it needs to be about here. So it can roughly determine where it was during the time that it was obscured. Now, some games only use one of these. Other games, though, use two of them. So you do have some games that just use this for one game, but some games support two of them. And the games support two allow you to do boxing, allow you to do sport like a sports champion that allows you to hold a shield and then do a sword as well at the same time. So that's why you got two here, because they can support two in a certain amount of games. Now on the PlayStation console itself, you can actually plug about four of these, connect about four of these into it. And basically four of the move, or two of these and two of the navigation. So one or the other. Now you charge this by just using the charging cable, so it uses a mini USB charging. Right there. And you can also buy charging docks for these that you can just plug them straight in. Otherwise they use an internal battery, very much like the PlayStation DualShock 3 controller, or the 6-axis controller. But they're very easy to charge, because you just plug it in, and when you need to charge, you run out during the game, and you can just play with them while it's being plugged in. If you're close enough to the console, that is. Otherwise you can just get a longer cable. So let's move on to the navigation controller. This is a navigation controller. What it was designed for is when you need a game that you need to move around. So it has an analog stick for your movement. It has two triggers on the back here. And it's got your D-pad as well as two other buttons there, as well as another PlayStation button to turn it on. You also have another charging port at the bottom, just like the other controllers do. So this is basically used, you have one of these to aim, and you have this one to move around if you need to move around in a certain game. So a lot of the new shooters that are compatible with PlayStation Move use this in combination together, because that way you can use this to navigate and move your character, and you can use this to aim. And of course some of the new accessories, especially the gun accessories, which I will be showing some down the line, actually have basically shells that you clip this into, and clip this into, allowing you to move and shoot at the same time in a much more ergonomic manner. So overall, it's a very good system, very accurate. It's not like a Wiimote at all, because a Wiimote is very simplistic and compared to the hardware that goes into the PlayStation Move. All these things work together in certain games. Like I say, some games use two of these, some games use that, and some games only use one of them. So there is a bit of a variation to it. And you can also have multiple players, so you can have 4 people using move motion controllers, or you can have 2 people using basically one move motion and one move navigation. Basically you need a PlayStation Eye hooked up to your PlayStation 3 to use it. There are quite a few PlayStation Eye bundles. The ones that come to mind are, of course, iPet, as well as Eye of Judgments, which I will be showing both those games and also unboxing the bundles down the line. So overall, it's a really nice hardware technology, and like I say, I do have quite a few Move games already, and down the line I will be showing you the Move game itself, as well as how the controller works with it, because some games use it as an aiming device, like in shooters, some use it more as a physical device, like the Fight uses it as boxing, so you use these as your hands in the boxing game, and like I say, with Sports Champions, they use it differently again. So, and some games actually only have Move features, which means they just have extra bonus gimmicky type things that, you know, just help you use certain games. But anyway, there's so much content to go through on that part of it. They will be coming down the line. We'll be posting individual videos for games and how they work. I also do split screen, so I'll have gameplay as well as me using these controllers, so you can see exactly how these actually work in the game itself. So that's coming up down the line, so definitely keep an eye on my channel for that. That's all about I can say about these. They're excellent controllers, really awesome technology, and of course you won't be able to see exactly how until I do those other videos. But yeah, just from actually playing with these, they are much more accurate than your Wii controllers or whatever, or even your Kinetic for Xbox. These are just so much more accurate than those. So definitely, by all means, if you're interested in motion controls on the PlayStation 3, you will need all of these things. If you're just a casual and you're not going to be doing much, you don't necessarily have to have 2 of these. I have 2 because a lot of games support 2, and they'll actually give you advanced features, advanced functions to play the game, etc. But that's about all I can say about it for now, at least. So keep an eye on my channel for those other videos. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sharkie Gamer. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, then click that like button, and please feel free to leave a comment if you'd like to. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys.